So I want to welcome you guys back to the Northern Nerd Network. This week, Trina had the chance to meet up with the Inglorious Hipsters, which, by the way, were super funny people. One of the funniest interviews and one of the best ones we've had so far. For me, I think that, came out. If you would like to know a little bit more about the Inglorious Hipsters, you can go to their website by going to inglorioushipsters.com, and there you will find a webcomic and a podcast and just all around hilarity all over that whole site. It's just so good to see. And so with all that kind of out of the way, I'm just going to go and let Trina take it over with the Inglorious Hipsters.
I'm here with the Inglorious Hipsters, Jeremy and Greg, and we're just going to have a little chat about what they do. So what do you do?
Well, we write and draw a web comic, and we do a podcast.
And I hear, Jeremy, that you're a big Sandra Bullock fan.
I wrote that. I'm not even sure if you've read that before, have you?
I haven't.
Has anybody asked you about that yet?
I wrote, when I was writing a couple of write-ups for like the artisans and stuff like that. Have you ever clicked on the page? I have a page where I just like talk about you and me.
No, I'm not.
So I wrote this big long thing about like how you love the net or something like that. I can't even remember what it is. Sorry to fake you out on that. But that's not real.
That's awesome.
As with many things on the website, it's all kind of a joke.
Yeah. How did you two meet and fall in love?
Grade 1, riding our bikes.
Yeah, we basically we met. We decided to be friends because we saw each other riding around on the same block, and we recognized each other from class. Wow. And they're like, "Well, we're friends now, I guess."
Yeah, that's how.
And that was
When you're 6 or 7, yeah, that's all you need.
Yeah.
Nice. What are some of your favorite things about Edmonton? Maybe some likes, dislikes.
Well, I dislike the Oilers right now, but I usually like them. I love the creative community here in the city. It's very supportive. We just got nominated for another Yegi this year, so we're pretty stoked for that. That someone voted us to be best in humor for 2013, so that's pretty cool. But in general, there's just there's a very close-knit, tight community of creative people, and that's probably the best thing about the city.
So going back to the Yegis, you won last year, and you're up again this year. Is your competition steeper this year, do you think? Or was it pretty tough last year?
I don't know about Jeremy, but I was pretty shocked that we won last year. I was pretty sure that we were just I'm just happy to be nominated, and I feel the same way this year. I don't put much stock in us winning again, even if that would be cool, I guess. But I'd be happy to see someone else win and get the boost from it as well. There's we actually have there's another webcomic that we're up against, End of the Earth, and Chad's stuff's actually pretty good, so he'd be a good choice, I think.
How are the Inglorious Hipsters created, and where'd you come up with the name?
Yeah, I just always liked the idea of kind of an indie record store, kind of like Blackbird or Sound or Listen Records, and I thought it'd be a cool place to have a comic take place. So just kind of came up with that, and generally those places seem to be infested with hipsters, so kind of came up with that. And just the name, I don't know, just came to me. Didn't really no real story behind it, just thought, hey, that's kind of cool.
Do you both write and draw for the comic, or do you kind of section it off?
We kind of share the writing duties. Jeremy is the artist, so he does all the line art. He inks it. Then he scans it and gives it to me. I color it and letter it and then publish it.
Where do you get the inspiration for your comics from? Is it your daily life, or is there any truth behind the stories?
Yeah, I would say it's a combination of all of that, really. Some of it's from our head, some of it's from just from what happens to us.
Yeah, I think that sometimes it can be, things that have happened to us, recently or whatever. I think the old comic had a lot of sort of blurred the line of truth and and fiction in there a lot. Not so much, I think this time around with Inglorious Hipsters, it feels like there's a lot more fiction and not as much pulling straight from our lives, but it's still there.
You also have a podcast. When did you start doing podcasts? Why did you start? What kind of...
I think independent podcasts are kind of like a big thing now. I mean, it's so easy to do, and there's lots of people in Edmonton doing it. And I was on a few podcasts. I was on The Unknown Studio and the now defunct what was it called?
J and J.
J&J, yeah. He's doing another podcast called The Jay Runham Show. But I just thought, like, I was just on those, and I was like, this is really fun. Let's do that. Now, I think I kind of spearheaded that, and then we just sort of, at first it was pretty rough going. Like, we don't have any radio training or anything like that, so it's just basically a bunch of dummies having a conversation, and hopefully it's funny, and that's about as far as we've gotten with it so far.
So is there any kind of theme to them, or it's just kind of...
I think we've only had one themed podcast where after I saw Star Trek Into Darkness, I got so angry I decided that we were going to have an entire podcast just dedicated to that particular movie. So that's the only themed one. But outside of that, I have a topic in mind that I might want to broach or whatever, and I try and get the guys to have something ready as well. When the conversation dries up, we just move on to something else.
Okay, so where can people find you on the web?
We are at inglorioushipsters.com. You can find us on Twitter at ingloriouship. We're also on Facebook as well, facebook.com/inglorioushipsters. Or is it Inglorious Hip? I don't know. You can find that on our website.
Go to the website. Yeah.
So I want to thank you guys all for watching the Northern Nerd Network. We really want you guys to stick around. So if you guys can subscribe to our channel right here. You can also, check us out on Twitter at northern_nerd. Yep. And not only that, that's right, we have a Facebook page, which I believe is facebook.com/northern_nerd. Well, that's it for this episode. I want to thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Okay, I won't do that again. Sorry about that.